Did you know these 8 things about Leah Williamson? And who is this girl? Well, Leah Williamson is only 25 years old and is already the English senior female football team captain. She is also a double threat as a midfielder and a fullback. And did you know she discovered herself when she was only 6? Who does that? It's usually the parents, right? And not the other way around. Plus, there's more to her success, so stick around. Welcome. It looks like you made it. In today's video, we'll be revealing 8 things you didn't know about Leah Williamson, the English female footballer. What sort of name is that? Leah's name sounds like she was born a liar, or rather an outlier, and especially in the latter case, she will always be different. Her parents must have seen a vision and named her Leah. The name has Judaic origins. Remember Jacob in the Bible? Yeah, one of his least favorite wives was named Leah, but it seems this English girl also named Leah is a massive upgrade from that. Jacob wouldn't have been able to resist. But more seriously, Leah Williamson was born in Milton Keynes in 1997, in a town close to London, and both of her parents were always die-hard Tottenham fans. However, Leah chose to support Arsenal instead. Did we not say she was like an outlier? For you simple folks out there, an outlier is someone who deviates from the center. So you see, we called it correctly. But in the Williams household, there is no rivalry in seeing one of their own playing for the enemy, especially on derby days. Who are we kidding? Her parents secretly root for her to fumble as they watch the matches on TV or at the stadium. So guys, you better not take it personally as well on Leah's behalf. The rough early years. It seems every successful person has one of those origin stories that make you want to take out your handkerchief. Some of them might even be made up to boost the storyteller's Instagram following, but Leah's story seems legit. It all started in gym class at her nursery school. After a regular day session, the gym teacher threw a ball in for the kids to kick around. Leah ended up hugging the ball, or was it the ball that stuck to her feet? You know, just like how Messi has close control of the ball when he plays, that evening Leah announced to her mother that she wanted to play football. So her mother got her a trial at a local boys football club, and she quickly became their star striker. Mind you, she was the only girl in the all-boy team. Yet even at such a young age, boys had their egos too, and everyone wanted a piece of her. So Leah's mother made her wear protection on her teeth. But the dangers never stopped Leah, and look at her now. It was all a dream now come true. Most girls like Leah would have loved sports when growing up. It's obvious, isn't it? Any girl who takes up football at such an early age definitely has something going on for her. For Leah, it was the dream of being in the Olympics that kept her up at night. Okay, not so crazy now, but at least it was the center of her vision board. Or, more precisely, it was a picture of Greg Rutherford. To complicate things even further, she had a crush on him. He was from her town, and he was also participating in the 2012 London Olympics, so he was the perfect crush. Greg was a long jumper in the British athletic team. Leah was 15 at the time and was inspired, or is it smitten by Greg? So much so that she almost ditched football for athletics. But her plans to accidentally bump into Greg didn't work out, and so it became football all the way. But not all was lost. She was eventually selected to go to the Olympics in Tokyo in 2020, only this time it was as a footballer. Comrades always stick together. We've already said Leah started pursuing a football career as early as 6 years old. Sometimes you can blame it on the dedication of parents who want to improve their credit scores in the long term. Nowadays, everybody realizes that there is money in football. So just push your kids out there and you never know. But let's clear the air. It's not just about the money for the Williamson family. Remember, we mentioned her parents were die-hard Tottenham fans. That sort of passion can be found everywhere across Britain. And if, while growing up, your kids see you screaming at the TV because the referee just gave Marino a red card, then you can't blame them for believing too. So all those years following the game passionately were finally paying off. Of course, at 6, most kids her age would still be learning their simple sums. But Leah was already shooting the ball, so they sent her over to Ruston and the Diamond Center for Excellence for Kids. Yeah, we know that name sounds like a scam, but trust us, it's for real. 3 years later, her first ever coach there left for Arsenal. Leah was sad but decided to do something about it. She went over to Arsenal as well and tried out for the team, and as her luck would have it, she was accepted at Arsenal, and the rest is history. From child mascot to she-goat. Aren't those kids who are child mascots just so innocent and adorable? It's usually their first time ever in the big stages of football. You might occasionally catch one geeking out when they recognize their favorite football player coming down the tunnel. Sadly, many kids don't get the opportunity to walk out into the field hand in hand with the players. This is because the selections are random. It's almost like a lottery for kids. But Leah has had the experience of walking out to the pitch on 2 separate occasions, and in both instances, the Arsenal team won. The first time, Arsenal was slated to play West Brom in a League Cup game in 2007. Also, during the Women's European Championship League final, Leah was selected to be a mascot for the Arsenal female team. The team went on to win the trophy, and Leah says it was one of the best days of her life. Presently, Leah plays a defensive role in the English Lioness team. However, she can play a midfield role as well. For your information, Leah started her career as a midfielder. It was only until 2014 that the Arsenal coach, Joe Montemurro, asked her to play in the back. Since then, she has settled into that position. So she is, in fact, a double threat. She is also captain of the English and Arsenal women's team. Giving props to who it is due. Everybody lives out their lives while borrowing from the legacy of those who went before them. For instance, there would be no Messi if there was no Maradona. The older guys usually set the stage for those coming after. Sometimes they mess up as well, because they're not perfect. They're human beings and not angels, even though they act more like angels in our eyes. Leah has had her idols as well. She looked up to these people in the women's game while growing up. If not for their achievements, Leah would never have believed that she could become a great footballer as well. In a BBC documentary, Leah dropped the names of her idols at the Arsenal female team. Women like Emma Byrne, Kelly Smith, Rachel Yankee, and Faye White. They inspired Leah to want to play for Arsenal. Alex Scott, who herself was an Arsenal player, is seen in the documentary interviewing Leah. Leah admits that at some point, she felt inadequate and starstruck playing alongside her idols because these were women she grew up watching. Might we remind Leah that she is not alone? We all feel the same when we have to drive our parents to a doctor's appointment. Gender inequality issues in the game. Leah was lucky that the Arsenal female team just turned professional before her 18th birthday. Since then, it has been her main livelihood. In other parts of the world, female football teams work part-time, so there's a long way to go before they can catch up to the men's game. Usually, once a boy is signed up for a team at 16 years of age, he is set for life, but it's different for women. So Leah has taken steps to study accounting on the side in case things go south. Was this always on her vision board as well? For someone as determined as Leah, you can bet it is. Becoming a Gucci brand ambassador. According to some, Leah is definitely a hottie, and she is also good at her footballing job. So it's not far-fetched to have her getting some endorsement deals. And of all the brands to approach her, Gucci offered her a rare opportunity. As is usually the case for male athletes, you don't see many sportswomen being sponsored. Suffice it to say, Leah has always been a stylish person, so this partnership with Gucci kind of works. Leah has also had the opportunity to mingle with high-profile celebrities at Gucci events. In fact, Leah is said to be one of the most marketable women in football, so we can only expect more endorsement deals for her in the future. Good for her. So now you know Leah Williamson a lot better. As such, can we have your comments down below? Do you think Leah is hot? Or better yet, do you think she's an outstanding player? And what do you think of the level of the women's games in England and around the world? You can also rate it from 1 to 10. And finally, in our YouTube football game, there are only 3 rules. Subscribe, like, and tackle that notification bell. So see you in the next video.